Hello, Jessiie B.
Hello.
It is the Minecraft Update Podcast, episode 53, monthly live show special. Just me and you. Slack has had a family emergency again.
Really not great to hear. We miss him.
No, it's not ideal. And there was conversation, should we push this back to next week? But considering the number of people that have turned up today, I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah. This is quite a few people. I see a ship.
There is a shepherd taming, yes. You're not allowed to talk to them, Jessiie B. Not allowed.
Sorry, I love everybody, but it's not often I see Shep anymore, so I just had to say hello.
No. Hello, shepherd tamer. Shush. No, we're not talking to you.
Sorry. Yeah, nope, we're not.
Right. The people we can talk to, Jessiie B, though, however, are our 27 amazing patrons who have joined the patron at various levels. We haven't still got a patron at the very top tier, which means we don't have to shout out anyone's name at the beginning of the podcast, which is quite nice.
Oh.
But thank you very, very much, genuinely, to all of those people that have joined. Our first payout should be next month, so I can do sharing with Slack and Jessiie, which would be nice. And if you want to support us and help us grow and make this podcast the best podcast it can possibly be, then you can go to Minecraft. No, not Minecraft. Patreon.com/the Minecraft Update. It's per podcast, the payments, and for the minimum perks you will get are access to our patron-only feed for bonus content when we record it, and I need to talk to you about that again, Jessiie. Access to our live episode recordings in the Discord, access to our patron-only Discord channels, and a Discord role, a nice shiny one. So, before we get into this week, Jessiie.
Yes.
Okay, bonus show. I have had an idea, and because I've in my week's going to talk about this quite heavily. But there's a lot of stuff going around. There's a lot of bad press, and there's a lot of court cases going on about AI, particularly image generation AI. And I have many thoughts on it. And for pretty much this last week solid, I have been playing with it, learning it, and understanding it. And I've got a lot to talk about. So how would you fancy having a conversation about that for our bonus show this month?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
We need to pick a day before the end of the month with enough time for me to edit it and do that. So potentially Friday recording or Saturday morning or something is possible. Maybe, Jessiie B.
Yeah. You just tell me when, and I'll make time for you, Foxy.
Thank you. And now I'm going to make time for you as we stroll into this week and find out all of the things you've been up to.
Ooh, okay. This week I have done many editing. You know how I was telling you, I was having a really hard time getting back into it, and I was trying to deal with like burnout and all that stuff. And I, in one day, was just like, no, I have to sit down. I have to get this episode done. And it turned into Time Lapse Central, which made me laugh because we had just talked about in the podcast how, time lapses weren't this big thing and they weren't that big of a deal and all this stuff, right? My entire episode, I am not joking, I have 3 separate time lapses in that episode. And the number one thing I have been told nonstop is, oh my gosh, I was so happy to see time lapses. I was so happy you got back to doing time lapses. Oh, that time lapse was really nice. And it just made me laugh because of how different we said things were, right? Like, for you guys, time lapses don't do good. It's not this thing.
Exactly.
And for me, people are like, no, do more of that. We like to see you build.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I was just like, it's really interesting.
It totally comes down to your audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing we keep saying. It would be really nice if all of the people out there in the world all liked the exact same thing, because you'd know exactly what videos to make and how to do it and how to grow your channel, but they don't. They all like different things, and obviously the people have latched onto you because of your particular skills and talents and the time lapses you do. Whereas when I put time lapse in my video, Oliver slams his iPad on the table and says, "Dad, stop putting time lapses in your video. They're really boring." So, I got to do as I'm told, Jessiie B.
I completely understand it. But yeah, so that was just my week. It was just editing and playing many Fallouts. But that has nothing to do with Minecraft, so we won't talk about that.
No. Well, you can talk about that. This is your week. You can talk about.
True.
I talk about AI and Mario Kart. You can talk about Fallout.
I played lots and lots of Fallout, and I love it so much.
Which Fallout? Which one is it you're playing?
Right now, I'm playing 76, and that has been a lot of fun because I listened to the negative press, right? Like we talk about that a lot, like how, people's perceptions and people's bad reviews and whatever, they affect a lot of things without people trying it themselves.
Yeah.
I was guilty of that. I had heard so much bad about it, and Fallout has always been one of my favorite franchises. And so I listened and I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. And I don't wanna. And then I was redoing Fallout 3. I was playing Fallout 3 again on my second channel. And Ricky and Scylla were both just like, no, give it a try. Like, give it a chance. And so I have been. And I'm so happy because it has been a lot of fun just having something to break up the building and the monotony that sometimes comes with Minecraft when you've been doing the same thing over and over for a while. It's been really nice.
Is it online, Fallout 76?
Yeah.
So that's what put me off it. And the fact that it was a massive hot mess when it first landed.
Yeah, it was. From every account, it was not great when it first started. And it has been many, and I really enjoy it now.
See, I really enjoy
the online.
I never played them before, but I played Fallout 4 and I got really into that. And it got to a point in there, without too many spoilers, where basically you've got to make a decision about you find your son. And I couldn't play after that. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't make that decision. It just felt so wrong. And at that particular point in my life, there was certain goings on at family and stuff like that that were sort of affecting mine and Jack's relationship at the time. And I was just like, no, can't make that decision. Not playing this game anymore. So, yeah. And then I hate online games. So I wouldn't even be remotely interested in Fallout 76.
That's completely fair. I will say the one thing about the online in this is I rarely notice, and there are private, like you can have a private server, like you don't have to play publicly, but like I have Fallout first, so I can make a world and then people can join my world that I invite. And then so it's just like the three of us in the whole entire world, and it's nice.
Like Minecraft.
Relaxed. Like Minecraft. It's amazing.
Has it got a story then, or is it just like mining and crafting?
It's so there's a story. There's always a story in Fallout, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's as necessary or as intense as like 4.
Right.
4 was quite a lot. That was it was a lot.
Yes, it certainly was. Oh, right. Well, good. Oh, I'm glad you've been enjoying a little bit of Fallout. That's
yeah.
Good.
So how was your week?
Well, I've been playing online games, Jess.
Really?
Yeah. So my Splatoon streams went so well with everybody that there was a bit of a craving for us on my Discord to play some Nintendo games together online. And we all decided that we've all got Mario Kart 8 on Switches, so we got together yesterday evening, actually, and spent 3 hours, I was going to say playing Mario Kart 8, but it was just basically me just thrashing everybody for 3 hours, which was most entertaining for me. I loved it. It was great fun. We had a great time, and that was the first time I think it felt like a proper hangout with people in the Discord. We were just chatting total nonsense. We were ranting about what the news that we're going to be talking about in today's podcast, and it was great. It was just really good fun, so I can't wait to do that again. And I know it's not Minecraft, and I know we could be playing Minecraft, but it's just so nice to just sit back and relax and play an easy game like Mario Kart and just chat rather than sit. I love Minecraft, but it's my job now, and doing it in my spare time, I can't find any fun in it anymore. In the I don't get engaged with the mini games. I don't get engaged with world building. I do it because I still enjoy the creative process and coming up with what I'm going to do in my videos, and I still really enjoy making videos on it. But that's like I wouldn't just load the game up and play it anymore, which is a bit sad, unless I'm like really into making an add-on or I've got a really good idea for something. So I'm glad other games exist.
Yeah, I feel that in my core.
Yeah. So obviously I've done that. On TB this week, I have been making a mob farm in a big old basalt skyscraper, which is probably very ugly, but it's all I had building materials-wise. I didn't have much of a choice. And I have been playing with AI. So obviously we want to talk about this in detail on the bonus show. But basically, there's a particular AI image generation thing you can get for your own PC called Stable Diffusion. So you're not relying on one of these online things or having to buy tickets or anything like that. And you just download it and you can put in a prompt, and which is basically a load of keywords, and it will generate images. And these are generally speaking, on the majority, people use them to go, oh, I want an image in this particular style of this other artist, and I'm going to make artwork that looks like them. I don't want it for that. What I want it for is to go, how can I want to interact with it and understand it. So what I've been doing is I've been training it on my face and my girlfriend's face, basically giving it a load of pictures to look at and figure out what we look like, and then using those to try and generate like photography, which isn't based on any particular photographer's art. I'm not using style like this or style like that. I just want I want a girl standing in a field in front of a mountain with a moody look on her face and her eyes closed with her hair blowing in the wind, and seeing what it comes up with. And it's come up with some incredible stuff. So, yeah, it's really fascinating. And I think there is some... I mean, in fact, I've got my laptop sat in the kitchen at the minute just churning out. I think it's going to churn out about 65,000 photos based on these sort of this style that I've created, so that I can train it on this particular style that I'm making, so that I don't have to keep putting in the same keywords over again. And I can go, okay, so now I've got my style. This is my photography style that I've created through this AI. I can go back into it and go, right, I want a picture with these things in it, but based on this style. And then I just think it's so interesting what you can do with it. So yeah, there'll be many more discussion to have on that this week. Check out the bonus show if you want to see or listen to me talking about that and why I don't think AI image generation is necessarily a bad thing. Then you'll have to join our Patreon at the lowest. You only have to join a month. It's $1. $1 for what an it's an amazing deal, Jessiie B.
I look forward to this one. I think that I would like to hear your opinions, as I also have opinions on it. So I look forward to this bonus show, actually.
Yeah, okay. Good. Right. It's feedback time, Jessiie B. And we've got a bit of feedback. In fact, we've got quite a lot of feedback. Either that or I'm zoomed in a long way, but it looks like there's a lot. Starting with Lucy, who says, call me old-fashioned, but if you fall into the void, you should lose your gear and your levels, and if you don't want that to happen, don't fall. Because, of course, Lucy, we all just choose to fall in the void. Oh, I'm just hobbling along in the end with all of my favourite things on me, and I just think I'll jump down there for a moment and lose everything. That's like saying to somebody, you know, if you don't want to get fired from work, don't punch your boss. Well, you have to. He's annoying.
I mean,
jeez.
Please don't punch your boss. No one listened to him. But
I'm my boss. I mean, it's all right.
I said it last week, and I'll say it this week too. I agree with Lucy. Don't fall in the void if you don't want to lose your stuff. It's part of the fun.
What a stupid thing to say. Oh, jeez. Okay. Right, moving on.
Brood591 says, hi, just started this week's podcast where you were talking about translating to different languages. I have children that are in a French language school, but I don't speak French all that well. I found that Google Translate is quite often wrong, or at least awkward. There is much more accurate translator online called DeepL. I would recommend looking into using this translator if you plan to continue with translation. I hope this helps. Google Translate is a hot mess. It is a hot mess. Anytime I look at something in Spanish, I always laugh because of how, like, technically accurate it is sometimes, but it makes things sound super awkward. And you're just like, well, I guess that can mean that, but that's not. The context is all wrong. So it's a lot of fun, I think, looking at Google Translate sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. So I totally agree with you. At the end of the day, I will look into DeepL. I'm sure we had another piece of feedback mentioning that as well. But basically you've got a scenario. You either don't do any for anybody, or you do as good as you can with the resources you've got until you're a big enough outfit that you can hire people to do it properly, right? So, yeah, you either do it for everybody or do it as best you can, or you don't do it at all. DeepL, if it's a simple and easy system that doesn't require money and lots of time, then I will definitely look at that. But I would rather have something, even if it's janky, than nothing at all. And the Google is a massive, massive company that pours tons and tons of time into their translation stuff, and it's getting better all the time. So it might not be brilliant, but they're doing like millions of different languages. I'm sure it will improve over time as things get better. So, you know, we're at this dawn of AI at the moment. I'm sure that's going to be playing a bigger part in translation very, very soon. So it'll all be fine.
Yeah, I think something is better than nothing, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's what I thought. Right. It's me, isn't it? Squirrelicious. Saying, hi, Foxy. It will be genuinely interesting to see the analytics of Foxy's videos with translated captions. I'm wondering if non-native English speakers are already watching Foxy's videos without captions, whether the translated captions will truly enrich their experience, particularly as they're produced by an automated translator. There are probably no way to measure that except from the viewer feedback. Perhaps it will open up to new audiences. I've been keeping my eye on it. It's been on a few videos now. And it does show you whether they've listened with no captions, English captions, like the captions you put in, or auto-generated ones. And it's still, even though I got like captions I put in myself, people, it's like still giving people auto-generated ones in their language as well. So who knows? But it does seem to be a few more people using the foreign language translations than did before. But you're literally talking about 20 or 30 people out of 1,000. So
yeah.
It's of help to those people, but it's not. My videos aren't just going, wow, this is amazing, like all of these new people from other places.
Yeah.
So, we'll see, though. It might change over time.
Well, that's it. I think it'll be good to keep an eye out on it.
Yeah.
When me as John says, I was using the YouTube auto transcriptions to help with the good ideas bin list, which I still have to finish, actually. And it was not great, particularly because this game has a lot of unique names for things, and you have 3 different accents it's trying to account for. Any AI is going to have trouble, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah, so if you don't... So that's why I'm using Whisper to transcribe it first, because even though Whisper's not perfect, it's way better than Google at actually understanding what you're saying in your videos. And when I read through a transcript that Whisper has done compared to one that Google's done, 99% of the words are correct. Like, sometimes if I do many, it puts it in as money, money, money. And Foxy No Tail sometimes comes out as something, I can't remember what it was, something hotel. But generally speaking, it's even nailing like Redstone and Pillager Outpost and things that you wouldn't expect it to get. It gets those. So
yeah,
it's going to have a better baseline for the translations than just letting Google just do it all on its own.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Out of Dutch says, lovely show as always, guys. Foxy, an idea for your bonus video. I'd love to see you guys horse around with RimWorld. It's not multiplayer, sadly, but there's plenty of hilarity to be had with that one. Thoughts on that, Jessiie?
I don't know what that is.
RimWorld is basically Draw Fortress, but more modernized, I guess. It's a time sync game, and I don't have time for a time sync game at the moment, with me having sink all my time into AI.
I was gonna say those are a little bit more difficult, especially if it's just like a one-off thing, like the bonus show. If it was like a bonus series, I guess, but it doesn't sound like something that I'd particularly be interested in having ongoing, if that makes sense.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the suggestion. Captain Cracks, is that what that says?
Capped Cracks? I don't know.
Yeah, Capped Cracks. I have a suggestion for a game for the bonus episode in stream. Rocket League. No. They put it's so different that I think it. Oh, sorry, you're reading this one, didn't you? Sorry, Jesse. They continue. It's so different that I think it would be hilarious just to watch you guys go through the initial learning curve, laughing at yourselves, and eventually celebrating as it starts to click and you feel increasingly competent. Have
you played it before?
Yes,
yeah, me
which
too.
Is why it's a no.
Yeah, it's not a good game.
It's just not. It's not a me game. And
No, it's like any other sport game. I don't like it. I tried it. I played it a lot when it first came out. Me and Jack used to play it, and I just found it incredibly boring, incredibly frustrating.
Yeah,
I have no interest in it at all. So, Capped Cracks, I'm sorry, but that would be an incredibly boring bonus episode because we'd just be there going, we have no interest in this game. And if you've got if you can. You can moan about something like Pokemon, right? And have it, but it's interesting because you've got passion about it. With that one, we'd just both be sitting there going, so no. Rocket League rubbish, sorry, mate.
Sorry.
Cat Boss says, hello, I have an amazing discovery. I got some headphones for Christmas and did not bother to use them until now. I decided to listen to this podcast and my life changed forever. Foxy's voice is just so beautiful that most speakers and phones can't comprehend Foxy's amazing voice, so it plays a slightly grating voice. It was such good voice that I listened to the podcast for 6 hours straight without my ears ringing. This discovery is epic and it must be shared to the public. Cat Boss's Discord account.
You know what? That's brilliant.
If you think I sound rubbish, maybe it's your like rubbish thing you're listening to me on. I sound beautiful.
That's what it has to be. It's just a hardware issue. It has nothing to do with what he sounds like. My
voice is at a level that only very expensive things can understand.
Yeah, that has to be it. Yeah, we've solved it. Problem solved.
Yeah. So if you want to hear me properly, get rich.
Get good.
And while you're being rich, if you would like to join our Patreon.
Oh my gosh. Done with you. Rotated Owlface says, Foxy, with regard to your new multi-language YouTube channel, I noticed something odd. I'm in the UK. I'm on YouTube GB. English is my first language. And so I get your videos in English with English titles and English captions. But the thumbnails for your merch are in French. Can't say that. So there you go. There's French words.
French words, translation required, please.
Yeah.
It says, you're all a bunch of idiots. Oh, good. Fantastic.
I believe it, yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's weird, Ruff. It's only you, my friend. Only you. Okay, right. Arkram says, hey, Fox, it's fun to watch your videos with subs on my language. Now, if you add text to speech, you can add audio tracks on various languages. I got a couple of these ones as well. Again, this goes from, going to do something relatively simple to aid, help out a few people to let's invest my entire life in transcribing my videos into all of the different languages. No, it takes forever. Yes, you can automate it, but it would still take absolutely forever to do that. I watched a video on someone doing it. It was a nightmare. I'm not doing it.
That's fair.
Sorry, mate.
Bobby Dis says, hey, Foxy,
Bobby
great to see
Bobby Dis, Bobby Dat. Which one is it?
Oh, my God. I think it's this one. Hey, Foxy, great to see the effort you put into getting translations in your most popular countries. In my line of work, we translate marketing media from German to 13 languages. We find Google translations are extremely literal and have terrible grammar. Might I suggest DeepL as an alternative tool? It also has machine learning, but seems to be way ahead of Google in learning the differences between the languages.
As I said already, I will have a look into it. But if it is more complicated and difficult than Google, or it costs me money, then I say, no, mate, sorry. I'm nice like that, aren't I, Jessiie?
Yeah, I mean...
Very considerate,
there you
no
go.
doubt.
Yep.
Thirdly,
Most
78
considerate.
says, I just wanted to praise Foxy on such high-quality audio. It's definitely the best audio of any podcast I have listened to. Yes, even better than the silky smooth voice of Pixel Riffs. I really appreciate the time you spend editing the podcast each week to make it an easy listen. Cheers, Turtley78. Well, thank you very much. You also must own a very expensive pair of headphones. Good on you.
Jamie Toaster says, hi, podcast crew. I was listening to the part about why some people don't use Twitch. I can't speak for everyone, but my reason is that sometimes people will stream bad stuff, not going into detail. And although I like supporting you guys, I don't want to support the bad streamers inadvertently. Huh.
And then there's a PS.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I don't see it. Oh, yep, there is. If you scroll, you find things. P.S. Thanks for the great pod. I will gladly watch your YouTube videos when they come out.
This is what you were talking about with that game that you're playing, Fallout 76. This is, I've heard this thing, so I'm not going to do it. Twitch, it's like you're not walking into a room, you're not walking into a club with poles in it, and there's people dancing in ways that you're not expecting. You go there and you click on the link of the person you want to watch. You don't have to go in and check out everybody and find them. You just go, oh, that's Foxy No Tail's Twitch link or Jessie B's Twitch link. I'll just click on that and watch their stuff. So I don't think you're not supporting any bad doers by doing that. So I find that a bit of an odd thing to say.
Well, I get the intent there, right? And it makes sense if you're genuinely worried about it. But I will say, when specifically it comes to TB and supporting the TB members, if we are on TB, I don't want to say full blank, but for the most part, everyone in TB will not raid into somebody who is not family friendly.
Yeah.
And that kind of content is not family friendly, and we are very vigilant about making sure that our audience goes somewhere safe, because I know I personally I have a lot of people who watch me with their kids. And while I might not think some things are appropriate or are appropriate, I have my viewers forefront, right? So I will never raid into somebody who is not family friendly if I am on TB for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah, same. It's I don't know, it's just it's a little bit disheartening. Listen, I get it, I understand that feedback, but you say I like supporting you guys, but I don't want to support the bad streamers. You're not unsupporting them. That's a double negative. It's not working. What you're doing is not supporting us guys. Which, if you like our content and you want to watch it and you want to help us grow, and then that is helpful. So it's like, I don't know. I can't think of a good analogy for that one, but it's like saying, well, I don't want to put my recycling in the recycle bin because, someone at the other end might steal it and use it for themselves. I know that's a really bad analogy, but you know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah,
you're doing more harm by trying to not do harm. That makes sense. In my opinion. Well, you're not doing any harm. It's just like, if you say you like supporting us and you want to watch our content, then it's not doing any harm to do that, I guess.
Yeah. I get what you're trying to say. I
got a comment on the video actually saying the reason one person doesn't watch Twitch is because their TV app for Twitch got cancelled, doesn't work anymore. So then they watch streams on their TV, so they literally can't watch it on their TV now. So I was like, okay, I can understand that one. But those are the only two replies from that we've had so far. So yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Is it me?
Yes.
Nobody 2023 says, hi again, podcast crew. Thank you for the amazing podcast, and thank you, Foxy, for your hilarious reaction to Epic Games getting sued. Nobody 2023 was shield bashed into the void and could not keep his stuff because somebody wouldn't put Enderite into the good ideas bin. Yep, I'm with you there, nobody.
A good one.
You're in there with me, bro.
That made me laugh. Sorry. Tough Relic says, I love the pod. Keep up the great work. Tough Relic fell off the bridge because of lag.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a thing, too.
Not that mean, evil lag. Jeez. Okay, Jessiie B. That's the end of the feedback. If you, not you, Jessiie B, but the people listening, if you would like to leave us feedback, then you can by emailing us at news@theminecraftupdate.com, or you can go to the minecraftupdate.com website and fill in our feedback form, or you can join our Discord, where there are currently 33 people listening to us live. It's amazing. You could do that if you're on our Discord. Just join it. Join it. Go on. I dare you. You don't dare, do you? You big wuss. Go on. Click the button. It's okay. It's in the description. Right. Jessiie B's news time.
Whoop, whoop.
We got some big news. And I'm going to start with the big hitter first. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Minecraft Bedrock beta and preview 1.19.60.27 came out last week, the day after we did the podcast. And guess what it's got in it?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. The entities no longer disappear when sent through end gateways. It's good news, but that was in the one before as well. So, don't know how much faith I have in that one.
Yeah.
And that's it for the news, peeps. So, moving on to the Bugdate. Unless you can think of any other news that's happened this week, Jessiie. I can't think of anything, can you?
Yeah, not anything that just jumps to mind.
No, there was this little Java snapshot that came out that had a couple of tweaks in it to things, but I don't think it's worth talking about.
Yeah, I mean, we don't often talk about Java stuff anyway, right?
Yeah, that's right. We'll leave that to Pix and Johnny over at the Spawn Chunks. We don't need to stomp on their ground, do we?
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, moving on then to the Bugdate. You got any bugs this week, Jessiie?
I don't, actually.
Minecraft Java Snapshot 23W04A came out and is probably the biggest game-changing snapshot that we have ever seen on Minecraft this week.
This week, yeah.
Yeah, the biggest game-changing one this week, Jessiie. It's big, and I have a lot to say about it. But before we get to our opinions, which we can share as I'm going through my bullet points, let's go through my bullet points. So,
all right.
I've written the Nether Neft update. I think I'm supposed to say Nerf. The Nether Nerf update was my little title for Netherite Nerf update. Sorry, was my title for this snapshot.
Yeah.
Basically, long story short, they have changed how Netherite works and now given us the opportunity to make many, many, many different varieties of coloured-in armour. Interesting, right? They have. First thing they did was they reduced the enchantment glint on your tools and armor. That's a big change. That is genuinely a big change. That's been a thing forever. And if you've actually watched it and seen it in game, the glint is very unobtrusive now.
Oh.
For good reason. Because of the new armor trimming system, Jessiie B.
Yeah. I saw, I may have heard something about it. It's not like everyone was talking about it on Twitter. At all.
No,
nobody's
putting
noticed.
videos out on it. I nearly did one, but I was too busy playing with my AI.
Fair.
Okay, so let's get into what's changed here then. So basically, what Mojang have done is they've said, in order to make the game more customizable, and people have been asking for customizable armor for ages, they are allowing you to take your metallic, I guess, armor, your gold, your iron, your chainmail, diamond, which isn't really a metal, but a netherite, and then you can basically put patterns on it with different metals, tools, items. That's the word I'm looking for. Jeez.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, you have to find what do they call them? Oh, geez, I'm not prepared today.
Isn't it the patterns?
Yeah, I wanted the official name. The changelog's so long, I'm scrolling through it. Smithing templates. You need smithing templates. So this is the thing. So smithing templates are basically like the patterns you get for a loom, and they can be found all over the world in pillager outposts, in desert pyramids, shipwrecks, jungle temples, ocean monuments, ancient cities, woodland mansions, nether fortresses, bastion remnants, strongholds, and end cities. And each place will give you a different design. So, for instance, the pillager outpost will give you sentry armor trim, and the jungle temple will give you wild armor trim, and the nether fortress will give you rib armor trim. And each one is basically a different pattern. So you get your pattern or your template, and then you go to the smithing table, which has changed significantly.
Yes.
You put your pattern in, and then you put either a piece of iron or copper or gold or lapis or emerald or diamond or netherite or redstone or amethyst or quartz into it as well, and a piece of armor of your choice, as long as it's not the same material. So you could put iron on diamond, but you can't put diamond on diamond, and then it will output your piece of armor with a particular pattern on it in the color of the metal or the item that you've put on there, which allows for over 600 different variations of armor that you can now have, which is quite a nice thing. Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Quite happy with that so far. This is the good news, guys. So the good news is lots of patterns, lots of choices, lots of customization. Sadly, the stuff that you're putting on your armor doesn't make any difference to the armor. So, like putting iron on it, for instance, doesn't give it any extra durability, or putting emeralds on it doesn't mean that Vindicators will drop a few more emeralds when you kill them, or, you know, it'd be nice if there was an obsidian one that perhaps would give you a bit more blast protection, but there isn't any of that. It's purely cosmetic. And because it's purely cosmetic, they've made it incredibly easy and cheap to replicate these...
You're full of it.
These templates, Jessiie. Do you know,
they're ridiculous.
Only costs 7 diamonds per template to replicate them, and they only get consumed immediately once you've used them. Yeah. So to enchant an entire set of armor, it's only going to cost you 28 diamonds plus however many diamonds you spent actually making the armor in the first place. Seems reasonable.
Reasonable. Hey.
Very reasonable.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, that's the most reasonable. I'm actually not a huge fan.
No. And it gets worse. It gets worse.
Yeah, I know.
But before it gets worse, let's just carry on with this. So it costs you... So you get these templates. Some of the chests you'll find will have more than one in. Some won't. And if you want an Ocean Monument one... Sometimes an Elder Guardian will drop one because there's no chest in the Ocean Monument. So these are going to be rare because these things are cosmetic and have no useful use in the game. So, of course, we make them as difficult as possible to get hold of.
Following.
Then they go, we don't want the end game to happen so quickly. We want people to wear diamonds for longer. So obviously in the last couple of updates, 1.18, they buried diamond deeper down in this block that you can no longer mine particularly quickly. So diamonds are more rare already anyway.
Yeah.
The things have got ridiculously expensive. And good news, peeps. If you would like to upgrade your diamond armor or tools to netherite, you can't just go along to your smithing table anymore with your hard-earned dug-out netherite that's taking you forever to get. You now need to stumble across the nether in hopes that you find a bastion that hasn't already been raided by all your friends in order to get a netherite upgrade template. And again, they are consumed. It's one use per item. So if you would like to duplicate it so you can, have netherite on more than one item or your armor as well, it's another 7 diamonds and a piece of netherrack per template upgrade. What? Why?
Yeah.
So they say, the reason is, and it says this in the changelog, don't worry, guys. The reason is we want to make diamond tools and armor last longer in the game before you get to endgame. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? And they want to make netherite a more significant achievement. Well, I'm sorry, guys, but you should have thought about that before you did the nether update. Don't giveth and then taketh away. We don't like it.
Yeah, no. I don't have much positive to say about it, and I dislike that, right? Like, I like that they're making it so that we can have more customization. Like, that's cool. I don't mind. But I do think if they were making it this difficult, right? Like, if it was going to cost me so much, I want benefits to it looking pretty.
Yeah.
Like, I need something other than it's pretty. Because if it's just pretty, then make it just easy.
Yeah.
If it's not just pretty, then sure, I could be behind these changes. But the fact
it's just cosmetic.
It's just cosmetic, and now you've changed how I have to do tools, and you've made my game more annoying, I'm annoyed. I
don't get it. Ugh. Who are they? Who is this for? Right? Leather armor. This is leather armor isn't included in any of this because leather armor is very easy. You get leather armor and you dye it and it changes color. Right?
Yep.
If these things are just cosmetic, why not make the template last forever, like your banner thing on your loom, and just use dyes to change the color? Right? Why? Yep. Why bother? Or if you're going to go through, right, we're going to cost you all these diamonds and it's going to cost you these materials to actually, the iron and the redstone and the things you can put it. Give us a reason. Make the armor do something interesting. I don't. Okay.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one.
We've been saying for a while on here that the end game needs to advance, and what they've done is they've gone backwards. So they've made the game harder. They've hidden diamonds and they've put it underground in an area that's difficult to dig, and they've given us no way to dig it faster. So they've taken a sandbox game and put an inherent limitation on there to prevent you actually progressing to an end. There's no end game there now. You cannot get to Minecraft end game. End game, you should be in full control of your world, and that includes insta-mining everything, right? But you can't do that. They added a warden, which it just bypasses all of your armor, as is ridiculously strong, and there's no end game way to aid against that. And now they're going, it's too easy. We're going to make it harder for you to, like, you go to a bastion and you come across a brute, even with full diamond armor on, 3 hits, 2 hits maybe, you're dead.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can't get netherite upgrade, even though you could spend hours and hours and hours and hours digging through the netherrack to get your stuff, smelt it down, mix it with gold to make your ingots, you've then got to go and find a bastion. They're going the wrong way. They should be going, right, we got this with the netherite. Now, how do we give them something to progress to the next stage? We added in a new stage of gameplay, but we haven't given them an access to it for them to conquer it. And that's what we like out of Minecraft. That's why we go to endgame, because we want to conquer it. We want to be in control. We want to be at the top of the game, and we want the game to succumb to us, and we want to be in charge. And we can't do that anymore.
I would say it's this funny thing, right? There's a reason why in TB every single season somebody is in the Nether week 1.
Yeah,
it's just like if we wanted, I don't know. It's just it feels weird. I don't like being forced into things if I don't want to in a game where they focus so much on, well, we want you to play it your own way, and then for them to just change random things like that. I don't like it. I'm not a huge fan.
Well, I genuinely question who this is for, because for me, the sort of people interested, like genuinely interested in changing the stripiness of their armor and the color of it, are probably going to be the sort of people that spend money on the marketplace on cosmetics, which generalizing here, not calling anyone out, but generalizing is probably going to be younger people. The sort of people that play on mobile and they'll play on a world for an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe a day, and then they'll throw it away and start again. Those people are not going to explore the entire world looking for all of these different trims and stuff and going into the nether and fighting bastions in order to colour in their armour. They are just going to go into creative and get the stuff that they need. Right? For the players that actually genuinely play and enjoy the game and go through that, They keep pushing this explore stuff on it, but exploration, great. It works in single player, but it doesn't because you're miles away from all of your stuff and you've got to come back because we like to build a base. We don't want to go off 10,000 blocks and then have a new home and forget where we came from or have to go all the way back. We want things on our doorstep. And for servers, you've got, I think Sloy summed it up in the Discord, you've got that person, or as Sloy called it, that head that goes around and gets all of the elytra from the end on this, like on day one, and now you're going to have somebody going around getting all of the things from all of the bastions before you even had a chance to log in because you live in a different time zone. So the world file size is just going to go through the roof. If you're playing on Java Edition and you've got a world border, you're limited to how many bastions you've got. You're going to have to extend that world border so that you can go out and find enough ocean monuments, find enough bastions, find enough end cities, find enough this, that, and the other, so you can actually get enough of these things for a server. But it's okay, Foxy and Jessiie, you can duplicate them. Diamonds, where have they got this idea that diamonds are just... Because they watch Hermitcraft. Because Hermitcraft builds everything with diamonds. They clearly don't play the game. They clearly don't... None of these developers can play the game, because if they did, they know diamonds are impossible to get hold of now. We've been playing Truly Bedrock since November, and I have 1.5 diamond blocks and I've digging for hours, but they don't exist down there anymore.
Yeah, it's I don't want to say it's infuriating because I think I use that too often. But it is actually, it's very annoying. It's annoying that the changes that are being made do seem like they're aimed at people who it's not really going to affect. Because I think you're absolutely right. I think the people who this is aimed for, in general, I will say, because I'm not gonna just be like, oh, no one who's an adult does this, but in
let's be honest, we're all going to have stripy armor next season.
Yeah, we are, but it's not aimed at us. It's not for us. This isn't an us thing. This is for younger people, and they're just gonna do creative. Yeah. I mean, already Ethan is like, oh yeah, I want to hop on and I want to do this. And we told him like, okay, well, you're going to have to actually go exploring. And he's like, I'll just go in creative. Literally, that's what he said. And I'm like, I can't fault him. He's not wrong. He can literally just go in and do it. It's
Oliver would do the same thing. If I said to, if he like, Dad, I want this particular, I want red on my armor like this person that I'm watching in the videos got. And I say to him, okay, right, well, you've got to go to the Nether, go to a bastion and get one of these things. Then you need to go to an ocean monument and fight an Elder Guardian and get one of them things. And then you need to make some diamond armor, and you're going to need at least 7 diamonds for each one of the pieces of armor you need to put it on so you can duplicate. No chance. Absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
Why?
Agreed.
For the people that want to go to end game quickly, the content creators, the server people, the people that play on servers, the people that just like wielding the game, like... as they should, the people that put the time and effort into the game, why put speed bumps in the way? Why put roadblocks in the way? Why? Who is out there saying we want it to be harder?
Yeah, it does very much feel like they're dumbing down the game. I was talking to someone and like that's the way they worded it. And at first I was like, I don't think that's fair. But the more I look at the decisions that they're doing, the updates, like it does feel like they're making it easier in certain ways and then harder in ones that just don't make any sense. And you're just like, okay, it's I don't know. I have no words at this point. It's just like whatever. They're gonna update it how they want. I don't really have a say in it, but I'm gonna be annoyed. That's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if there's no benefit to it other than it being cosmetic, there is no need to make it so ridiculously expensive.
Agreed.
If there is a benefit to it, fine. Yes, there's a benefit to having Netherite. There's a big benefit to having Netherite, but you already set a precedent for what you need to do. You don't then get to go into it and go, no, that's too easy. It's too easy for who? Yeah, it is easy if you've got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Jeez. Right, okay. Right, now, we haven't obviously got to questions yet or Bugdate or anything like that. If you are as passionately angered about this as I clearly am, and potentially Jessiie is as well, fortunately, I think Mojang realised that this is going to be quite the substantial change and there's going to be a lot of people talking about it.
Pushback, yeah.
So they have. King B Ducks came onto Twitter and said, "Hey everyone, important. We have a feedback thread on the change to Netherite upgrading, and we'd love you all to go and give feedback there. And there is a link to it which I will put in the show notes. And there are already a lot of comments on there. There are 96 so far, and you can upvote them. And as we know from experience, because we do the feedback, the wish list section every week, which originated from this feedback website, we know that Mojang don't even know this website exists. So make sure you put all of your comments in there because it will be totally ignored, but at least you feel like you got it off your back.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, I'm going to just read a couple of these comments. I'd like to be able to sort it, but it says sorted by oldest. One person says that we need it for horse armor as well. One person says, if you ask me, copying smithing templates is way too expensive, especially since the armor trims are purely cosmetic. It should be done with something cheaper, like gold in place of diamonds. I just think why 7 diamonds? Just one would be enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, agreed.
One person says, I won't have the chance to check that's pointless. Not much feedback to give. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people are basically saying the same thing as us on there. On a slightly more positive twist to this whole thing, we have another developer who's responded to our best friend Bruno, previous guest of the show and teammate on Truly Bedrock. Bruno put a message out there saying, Minecraft 1.20 armor trims are cool, but what about tool trims? I want to be able to tell my Silk Touch and my Fortune Pick just by looking at them. RIP thousands of Fortune Ender chests. And I think that would be great. And Ulraf, one of the developers... Now, I don't know if it feels like sarcasm to me, unless Ulraf is. I just don't understand how. Right, I'm going to read the reply and I'll explain it. Okay. Interesting. I never thought about this. I always tell them apart by the smell. Okay, the second part of that is clearly a joke. If they've gone through all of these discussions and meetings to add different trims to armor in the game and mess about with the smithing table that also does tools and weapons, how have they not even thought about it for the tools? Surely that must have come up in conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So is he being sarcastic, or have they just are they just blindly going around the office throwing ideas at the wall and seeing what sticks without talking about it?
No, I think that very, very much so is them being silly because, they had to have thought about it, I'd imagine.
I think it's a good idea. I'd like to, like a little bit like you can with Tinkers, put a little bit of like purple on your tool so that you know it's good at this, or a bit of red on your tool so you know it's good at this. But that also has it adds a unique ability to that tool. And I think that's, if they're going to go down this route with templates, I hate the templates. I hate the things for the loom. I don't like them. They don't feel Minecrafty. They feel like a card game. I don't want that.
Yep.
But if that's what route they're going to go down, they might as well give us some benefit using them.
Yeah, it feels like they took ideas from things like Tinkers, but not the good parts.
Yeah.
like they saw the Tinkers mod and they're like, "Oh, look, it makes the armor pretty when you add things to it. We don't want to add any functionality to it, but it is pretty."
I wonder if this came from okay, Minecraft Bedrock Edition has the marketplace, and there's a ridiculous amount of money being spent on people having all of this persona items and building their own stuff. How can we make more people buy Java Edition? Let's give them stripy outfits on the Java, but make them impossible to get. I bet there was a conversation going around. Can we do this with? Can we do this like pay to win? Can we add like transactions in here, microtransactions? You can buy these templates. Oh, geez, Jessiie.
I know.
That's the end of the news. It's time to go into the Bugdate and find out what's been bugging us. And yes, people listening in the Discord, I can see you are writing questions and all sorts of conversation here, but we will get to you after the wish list, of course. But first, it's time for the Bugdate. Jessiie B.
I has no bugs. Do you have bugs?
I have a bug, and it's a pretty horrendous bug.
Uh-oh.
It's a bad bug. It's probably one of the worst bugs I've seen in a long time, actually. I'm surprised more people aren't complaining about it. But it's the sort of bug you might not necessarily notice.
Okay.
So, there is a bug. It happened to me on stream. It's happened to me off stream a few times as well. But if you go into a single-player world, sometimes, this is in Minecraft Bedrock Edition 1.19.51, but sometimes that world will somehow revert to an older state. So let me give you an example. I've been making void worlds for my tutorial videos that I've been doing. And I made one for my crop farms video. And in that, I had like a little starting area, which was for my introduction to the video with a little farm and stuff like that. And then away from that, I had all of the different farms that I built up. So I finished building it. I built the first bit first, and then I had to go out. So I saved the game, closed the game down, came back to it later, built the other ones. And then when I went to record the video, I logged back into that world again, and all of the things that I'd built were gone, and I was back at the starting area, which would be impossible for me to get to because it was surrounded with barrier blocks.
Yeah.
Where I'd logged out the first time before building the stuff. And I was like, have I opened up the wrong world? Is this a copy of the world that I saved previously? So I hopped back out into my worlds thing, and I hadn't got a copy of that world. It was the only one I had. So I went back into it, and all of a sudden everything was back again. And I was in the right place. I thought, that was weird. Oh, maybe that, there must have been a weird thing going on with the database there. Mm-hmm. And then it happened to me on stream going into my ideas world. So the last time I went into my ideas world, or Foxy's Playground as I call it, I used this green screen thing to do like a frame for a thumbnail that I was doing for a video. But then when I logged into it from my live stream while I was streaming because I wanted to do some build ideas, I was in a totally different part of the world. I thought, that's weird. This is not where I logged out. So, and I had all different items on me. So I was like, okay, logged out, logged back in again. And then I was, back exactly where I'd been to take the thumbnail with the other items on me. And then the third time it happened, I had a download of TB Season 4. I flew over to my mob farm and I did some clips for this video because I'm making a mob farm on TB Season 5. So I talked about how I'd done it there and I'd done this and I'd done that. Logged out. And I had to go back to it again today. So I went back into that world and it put me back where I started again before I'd recorded all those clips the last time. And this time, because I clicked off the screen, I needed to move my mouse back to the screen and click on it. It broke a block. So it had saved something to the world. And the next time I went back, so I logged out, logged back in again, and it had saved that state. So all the progress that I might have made if I'd been building in that world would have been wiped and reverted because I'd broken a block which had made the world actually change the database. So basically the bug is, and there is a bug report on it, and I've put stuff in the bug report and I've uploaded a video to it, that your single-player worlds can revert to an old state, and if you make a change in that world, that's it. You won't get any of the stuff done you've done in the future back again. So if that happens to you, log out immediately and then log back into again. Hopefully you'll get the right version of it. So that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's not a great one, and it's really good that you've made sure that there's like a bug date about it, because that's one that you obviously really want to get sorted like as soon as it can, and I hope that they pay attention to it because I imagine some really upset people.
Yeah. You log into your world and spend all day building something, log out, and you maybe go have your tea or something, come back to it again, and all of this stuff's gone, and you're like, where's all that gone? And you start placing more blocks, and it just undoes everything. You're going to be devastated, aren't you?
Yeah. So, yeah. Oof.
So yeah, that's
many bad.
Not good. All right, okay. From our community then, we have the first one from Connor, and it says, while listening to the latest Bugdate, the problem with the sign not keeping its text on a realm reminded me of how all my text in my books would just disappear after closing it. I tried a few things and it didn't work. This even happened with the armor from time to time. This was also on realm, so maybe they just stop anything written from working, and glowing signs only work because they forgot maybe. Sorry about the book. Been loving the pod for a while. While riding, Connor rode into a lovely river, never to be seen again. So, yeah, maybe they've like upped it on realms to just be extra safe on there, and they've just forgotten to do squid ink things. But you would think it would just be just text in general, wouldn't it? Rather than what the sign is made out of. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that one's weird. Acidic Robin says Acacia saplings don't grow on moss or rooted dirt. All other saplings do. They've left the bug report. Not a massive bug, admittedly, but if you're trying to make an all-in-one tree farm, it's a pain. Yeah, I can imagine so.
Yeah. Yeah, so that. Well, I don't know why you'd need to use rooted dirt or moss for an all-in-one tree farm. Can't you just use grass or dirt?
Yeah,
So
that's what I would think.
it only one block, mate. Meerkat says, I stumbled across a bug yesterday after playing on a server or realm. If you exit the server and load a local world on the first load, the world is reset. This is what I was just talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Your inventory is wiped as through the new world. However, panic over. If you exit and reload the world, all is back as it should be. Reproduced a few times, 100%, swapping from a server and again to a realm or local world. A search for the Jira did not find a good match, so opened a new ticket. Well, I have obviously already got a ticket on that, so I'll put their one in it as well. But that's interesting that they say it's after going from a server as well, because the first time it happened to me, I couldn't remember if I'd been to a server first, but the other two times I definitely had been. So I wonder if this is to do with the fact that, you know how they're producing like client-generated junks on servers now to save server resources or client resources, whichever way around it is. I wonder if it's something to do with that. Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
It would be good to know.
Yeah. Backups, guys, backups. Make many, many backups.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely. Scafone says, hey guys, not sure if this is a bug or what is happening. Every so often when I have my inventory open and close it while I am still holding an item from said inventory, my helmet will be unequipped and randomly placed in my bag. I checked the bug tracker but didn't find much help there. Any experience with this? And then there were replies from that. Brood said, it's been happening to me too. Me as John said, I thought I was being crazy. I've seen that happen. Meerkat says, ticket was marked as duplicate of already ticketed, which has been open since December 1st. Update onwards, at least my steps on reproducing might have moved the ticket along. It's now in the ticket description.
Wow.
I have also had that happen, and it's really annoying.
Have you? I haven't had that happen.
Yes.
I suppose I probably haven't really been closing any inventories with things still in my hand. Interesting. Okay, well, Nobody 2023 with our last bug here says, so that 4-year-old world I was talking about, yeah, now no torches are giving off light, or any light source for that matter, including the sun. Now it's eternally night. I'm getting tired of having skeletons take pot shots at me when my back is turned. Whenever I try to sleep, it says you can only sleep at night. Oh, nobody. This sucks. New time for a new world, maybe? Oof.
Yeah, that's not great, actually.
Yeah, that's not good. Not good. Right, it's also not good, Jessie, that's the end of the Bugdate. Oh, it's a shame.
That is
a shame. We're getting closer to the live people's questions, and I feel very uncomfortable. If you've got a bug, and if you want to talk about your feelings about the Minecraft stupid armor thingy news, then you can leave us some feedback by joining the Discord or emailing us or filling out the feedback form that's on the website, and we would really appreciate it. Any feedback you've got, any thoughts on any of those things would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Yes. It's wish list time, Jessie B. Have you got any wishes?
I don't.
Do you not wish that their stupid idea that they've come up with, they would undo it?
Okay, yeah. I wish that the trim did something. I wish that it wasn't just cosmetic. That is my wish this week.
And if they're struggling for ideas on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All they got to do is play Minecraft Dungeons. There's so many different armor types in there. They could go open that and go, oh, okay, if we add emerald to it, then things will drop more emeralds. If we have obsidian to it, there'll be more blast resistance. If we add redstone, it'll do this. If we add that, it'll do that. You know, make it useful. And then we'll be excited about this rather than just being going, why are you making life harder? 1.20, look, we got these new things. What are we going to do with... It's really good, guys. We're just going to make it life hard for you all. But if you put in more and more and more and more hours, then you can have stripes on your diamond armor. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, I really like stripes. What I don't get is there's this. If you bought a game already, right? You've already bought the game. What's the desire from the developers to have you just constantly play it? I can understand if there was microtransactions, and for Bedrock Edition, I guess there's an argument to say that that's microtransactions.
Yeah.
But why did, and this isn't just Minecraft, all games seem to have this desire to have all of these things put in place to encourage you to play the game more. In fact, PlayStation now send you emails if you haven't played a certain game in a while to say, hey, you haven't played this game in a while, why don't you play this game? Why? I already played it. I don't get it. Because this is what this feels like for Minecraft. This thing is, how can we get them to spend even more hours in Minecraft? Why?
Is it just like an advertising thing? Do they make a certain amount of money off of how many people do it? Or is it like a stock thing? Like the more people who play...
Could be a shareholders thing, yeah. This amount of people are playing Minecraft every month, yeah. Could be. It just feels so weird, doesn't it? It feels so unnecessary.
It's awkward. I live in Minecraft, basically. I'm here all the time. I don't need to be told I should be here more. Go away.
Yeah, I wish it would go away. And Scrublord XL wishes. So here's an idea. I think it would be super helpful for early game terraforming if, since you can already use shears to get the grass item, that you could place the grass item on dirt blocks and bone meal it to change the dirt blocks to grass blocks. I would rather just craft a piece of dirt with a piece of grass to put the grass on it. That would be easier.
Yeah, I agree. If you were going to try to make it easier, that seems like the better solution for me.
And I haven't got a problem with that, actually, because it is annoying when you've got like an area that's got no grass on it and you have to make a grass line from somewhere else to try and get, if you haven't got Silk Touch. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't mind that. That makes sense to me. You can do that with other blocks. You can add stuff to them. And you've got dirt and you've got grass. Why not? Why not just put the grass on that dirt?
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that... Oh, Jessiie, I meant to suggest something for this wish list this week, actually.
Oh, okay.
I thought maybe we could do something crazy. Feel free to totally ignore me and say no. But we could ask the people listening to this to do thumbs up or thumbs down for each of the ideas. And then we decide whether it goes in the wish list. In the good ideas bin.
You want to give them power for the good ideas
bin. Well, we can ignore them. So, peeps listening to this on the Discord, if you think that crafting grass from a piece of dirt and a piece of sheared grass is a good idea, then throw some thumbs up in the general chat, or some thumbs down if you don't like it, and I will consider whether or not it's a good idea after that. And while we're waiting on that one, we might as well read the next one,
which is from Mitulansky, who says, what if we had some late-game desert catacombs with traps to explore? With some new mobs like mummies, husks, and maybe some ghouls, we could add a mini-boss. An idea could be a beholder. As loot, you would be able to collect some archaeology stuff like customizable terracotta vases, and some statues and some ancient tools as decorative items. The mummy could give you mining fatigue when you get hit by it. I like the idea of catacombs. Catacombs seem fun to me. I don't like the idea of having just like random... I know this is going to sound so crazy coming from me. I don't like the idea of random decorative blocks. Like, why? Like, why do I need the mummy to drop something that is useless? Does that sound mean? That sounds mean, doesn't it?
I don't see the point in it being intertwined with archaeology at all. Doesn't make any sense to me. I quite like the idea of more explorable structures like that underground. Mm-hmm. We've got so much underground now. Do you know, I'm finding the underground totally off-putting to Minecraft now. Do you know? This sounds really bad, but it honestly makes me not want to play anymore, the fact that there's so much underground. I used to really enjoy digging in Minecraft and building an underground base, and while you were doing it, gathering diamonds and gathering resources. But now that there's all that deep slate and that extra 64 layers, I just couldn't care less. It really has turned, like, that's my play style. I like digging. And now I just think that sounds like hard work. I can't be bothered. And I genuinely think since 1.18 I've spent a lot less time playing Minecraft, and I've been until literally this moment when I've had this epiphany. This is that it was because maybe you've been playing it for years, maybe you're a bit tired of it. It's not. It's the underground.
Yeah,
it's too much of it.
Yeah, I used to spend a lot more time like digging and doing stuff, but I find that I'm annoyed that there's. Oop, that's the wrong place. I'm annoyed by a lot of the crevices and stuff, and it's just I don't know. It's different. It's definitely changed the game in a way that I don't think I had realized very much. Like it just was subtle changes that you're right. Thinking about it, have changed the amount of time I spend in game.
There's no enjoyable part of it, is that there's nothing enjoyable about that underground. Some people are talking in chat at the minute, and I shouldn't be reading it. They're saying, "Well, Deep Slate's a nice building block." It is. It's my favourite building block. I absolutely love it, but I hate gathering it, and I don't see why they couldn't just make it insta-mineable or have like the bottom 10 layers of the world Deep Slate before you get to the Bedrock, rather than having 64 layers of it, and that's where all the good stuff's buried. It doesn't make sense. It was perfect. We knew where everything was. It was 64 blocks down underground, down to zero. Was it 42? From sea level to zero was a long way to dig down. It didn't need to go another 64 blocks. It really didn't need to go so far down. It's pointlessly far down. And considering there's nothing down there when you get there, there's no, like in Terraria, you dig down a long way, but there's the whole other like hell dimension down there. There's no need to go down there other than to get diamonds, and it's so frustrating to do it because it's so slow and there's so many aqua tunnels and it's so dark. Dark games, they're not enjoyable. I find it really difficult to mine underground in the Deep Slate tunnels for more than 10, 20 minutes before my eyes start going all squiffy. And I don't know if that's my age or what, but I just find it's not, there's no enjoyment to it, rather. It's definitely a chore, and I don't like it. Sorry.
No, I definitely get where you're coming from. I do like things like the ancient cities. I think those are fun, right?
They're great, but they don't need to be all the way down there.
Fair. They don't. But I don't know. I don't so much have a problem with how deep it is or what they've done. I have a problem with how patchy they have made it, right? Like, I don't like that there aren't just like big areas with no caves. It's like there are just a million caves that lead off into millions of different directions. Spawn proofing is a headache. It is like, that's what I have a problem with. I wish it was a little more organized. It feels very, very disorganized, and I'm not a huge fan of that.
Bringing it back to this wish list idea, my point of that rant, and I think what we're talking about, is that if there was more interesting things down there, I would have a lot more reason to go. However, having said that, as you've just said, you're mining out a base area and you come across a mine shaft or a big cave or a water cave, it's frustrating. So if those structures were specific to locations, you would know not to base there. So absolutely, desert catacombs that are going to be underneath a certain part of the desert, so you can see where they're going to be from the surface. Because I think this is the other issue I've got, like the ancient cities. Unless you're cheating with chunk base, you're not just going to stumble across one. It's so unlikely that you would. It's pointless. And again, this is my issue with the developers here, is like, what are you thinking? Who is this for? Who do you think is just mining and mining and mining and mining that low down in the world that they're just going to come across multiple ancient cities? They might do one or two, in the lifetime of playing the game. But people want to go there for that experience when they go there. Make it obvious where it is. They did it with the lush caves with the azalea tree. Perfect example of how to find something underground. So maybe desert catacombs under the desert temples. It makes sense.
Ooh, that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got, for that first idea, for the one we changed, by the way, we got quite a lot of thumbs up for that, about 9, although Pickles doesn't like it because he thinks it's a Silk Touch nerf. There's plenty of other things you can do with Silk Touch Pickles. It's for people that don't have Silk Touch, mate. The Catacombs has 4 upvotes, so I think that's a good idea, but I don't think it needs to have any of the archaeology stuff in there. It just needs to be, I guess, a little bit like the underground mine shafts in other areas, but maybe a little bit more unique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Maybe some glazed terracotta and stuff down there that goes nicely with it or something, I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. I wouldn't have any problem with it at all.
Or little underwater oases with like little underground trees in there and some like little lakey things. I think that could be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So they're both, what do we think? Good ideas?
With the changes to what we said in the second one, yes. First one I think is a good idea.
Okay.
As well, I think we changed both of them, right?
Yes, yeah, we did. Yeah.
The changes we have made, we like.
Yes.
Oh wow, we're not full of ourselves at all.
No.
Yeah.
It's why we're here, Jessie. We are here to steer everybody into the correct direction so that Minecraft can be the game it could be. If we were developing Minecraft, if we were given, you know, the list of what you say goes, our good ideas, it would be an epic game. Minecraft, there we go.
I don't disagree.
Okay, is it me or you? It's me, isn't it?
You, yeah.
Brood says, for those who feel it's cruel to confine a villager to a single block for easy trading, what about a way to call a villager over to its workstation? Maybe you would need to combine the workstation with a bell. We talked like briefly over this the other day about maybe having something to make the villagers go to work. I think I said a goat horn. Yeah, I think something to tell the villagers it's time for work is a good idea. But then clocks exist in Minecraft, and you know that they're going to go at a certain time of day, although it doesn't really work in the Nether.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessary, but it would be nice. So what? I need to. While you're reading the next one, I'll put this one in the in the Discord for people to thumbs up.
Okay, so Concobar, is that what that is?
Connor.
Oh, okay, Connor. That's so right then. I know this has been hammered into the ground so many times now, but I wish they would just finally update or upgrade the inventory system and allow us to have simple buttons for organization and chests. I don't care for all these little things that a few people want. Inventory has been the same forever. Time for a change. I don't even think we really have to talk about that. We have, and a million cajillion times talked about what we think the inventory upgrade should be, and we all definitely agree that there needs to be an update.
Do you know, Jessie, it's funny that you mentioned that because that was one of the things I forgot to bring up about this new getting these templates is the inventory clutter of having all of these different templates.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a headache and a half.
Yeah. So if you're trying to use different templates on different things with different materials, you're going to have a whole bunch of different materials that you're trying to add onto these things. You're going to have your upgrade things. Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare. And then all of your armor off in your inventory as well so you can do it. Yeah. Just a sort button for now would be great. I'd be happy with that as a start point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've said it a million times. I'm not even going to ask the Discord about that one because yes, it's a good idea. But I think it's already in there, but I'll put it in again just in case. The other one, we got a 7 thumbs up for Brood's idea about the villager calling tool. Should we add it in the good ideas bin?
Yeah. If there were a way to get villagers to their workstations, I would be a happy camper.
Oh, it's just gone up to 8. Yes. Okay.
Oh.
Right, next one. It's me. Johnny Jumper says, in episode 52, you discussed losing all of your stuff in the end if you fall into the void and it's gone forever. What if your stuff got transported to an end city chest that has not been loaded, so you could at least have a chance to recover it if you could replace beetroot seeds in a chest? No.
No.
That would be a coding nightmare, and how do you know which one it's gone to? No, I think it's pointless. Sorry, Johnny Jumper. No, not even going to ask the Discord that one.
Yeah, that's just a no.
We'll just ask them the maybe ones.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Territe says it would be cool to have a copper reinforced piston that can push 16 blocks instead of 12 to add a new use for copper. I am under the opinion that I don't need copper to have another thing, and I'm not a redstone-y person, so I don't really care.
I do care. I do care.
Pistons pushing.
I want copper hoppers that go faster, and I want
hoppers.
Yeah, we talked about this before. I've no hoppers that go faster that you make them out of copper instead of iron. And yes, a copper piston would be nice, but why go from 12 to 16 blocks? It doesn't make any sense. Why not make it 24?
Yeah, double it.
Yeah. So I'd be well up for that.
I'm still saying no.
Well, we got 5 votes against none in the Discord for that one already. So I think all 6 now. I think we might be in for a winner there, guys. 7. Yes, people are loving this idea. Excellent. I'm going to just sneak that into the good ideas.
Cheater, pumpkin eater.
Okay, right, next.
Wow.
Territe again says, if archaeology is added, a way to make it more interesting is to add ancient runes where you find one per site. They each give you a permanent ability when used, then disappear. 3 ideas for runes could be one that lets you dodge roll, one that lets you double jump, does not negate fall damage. Well, what's the point then? And one that lets you crawl without water up trapdoors if on Java. I don't like this idea.
No, me either.
I don't want runes. Okay.
No.
Do you want to read Cat Boss while they're doing voting?
Yeah,
Jason
fine.
says, what do they do? You should be listening, Jason.
Cat Boss says, hello, podcast crew. I am very behind, but I have an idea. What if there were chests on the llama that you can't open unless you buy the llama from the trader? The llama would be 20 emeralds, but if you kill it, it won't drop the chest contents. And if you try to open the chest, it will spit on you. This was just an idea, but I think it would be cool to add a use for the Wandering Trader. Sorry for the bad grammar, Cat Boss Discord account.
See, this brings me on to something else I forgot to talk about.
Yeah.
I was going to say, rather than having these stupid templates strewn throughout the world, why not give them to the Wandering Trader and have a use for the Wandering Trader? And that way they're renewable without needing 7 diamonds each.
I would like if the Wandering Trader sold them, but I personally, I'm not against them being in structures. I think it's fun to have a need to go to structures and to do things. My issue is with the copying them, or with making new ones or whatever. I do think that's too expensive and ridiculous, but I don't have a problem with the initial ones being at structures. It doesn't bother me so much.
I don't have a problem with that in single player, but on a server you'll never find one.
Yeah.
You'll never get one. Now that they've made bastions useful and actually something worth having there, they're all going to have been raided by the time you've got a chance to go to one.
Oh yeah. Just think about in TB. You know full well that people are just gonna it's gonna be a mess. And I think that's why Tizzy was like, wait, we need a communal house where all of the templates just are.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that,
it's gonna be
because
miserable.
You kind of want to do your own thing as well, and you want to be able to, if you've got them, you want to be able to put the time in to duplicate them and sell them. That's a really good thing to do on a server. But Tizzy's absolutely right. The only real way to do it on a server is going to be to have community-based one, which ruins the economy, really. I don't know. Anyway, the other idea that we had, the archaeology ancient runes one, was downvoted 9 against 2, so it is not a good idea, I'm afraid, Territe. The llamas, Wandering Trader Llamas, has got 7 downvotes against 0, so that's also not a good idea. Oh, man, right. Next one, is it me?
Yes.
Mustachim 25? Here's an idea for pack creators about how we get the ability to have block variations in textures actually be random and not coordinate based, as this will mean if I place a cobblestone and coordinate 10, 5, 10, it will change to different variants in the same place, meaning we'll be able to get the exact variant. What? What? Right, okay, I think I understand this. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, variated textures, you can have them on Java Edition and Bedrock Edition, believe it or not. You know, like when they have the bookcases, variated textures. So when you're placing bookcases, they've got a random texture rather than they're all looking exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When you log out of the game and you log back in, the randomness stays. Yeah, because it's based on a random seed rather than. Which is what this person's talking about. So in a specific coordinate, if you put that random variated block down, it will be specific to that block so that it's always the same when you put it on that block so that it doesn't change every time you log in and out of your world, which makes sense.
Yeah.
What they're saying is, can we just have it totally random so it's just a totally random block every time you place it? No.
No, absolutely not. No.
No. Because once I've built it, I don't want it to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We on broods?
Yes.
Yeah. I would like if there was an item that you could give villagers to speed up their growth, like you can do a variety of other mobs. I don't like that idea. I don't even know why. I just don't.
I think it's because they're children.
Maybe that's it. I'm just like, no, that makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree that it is annoying having to wait, but it's really not that long in the scheme of things. When you're trying to get your training hall finished on stream and 18 of your 27 villagers are still babies and you're just hanging on and trying to think of what to say, it's frustrating. But no, I think it's fair. I don't think you should be like feeding villagers carrots and then they grow up like you can with like rabbits or something like that. I think that's bad. And according to the Discord, that has 5 down against 3 up. So that is they've shared our thoughts on that one. So no, sorry, Brood. Okay, in that case, Blood says, I'd like to be able to craft glowing sacks into a light block. It would make them vaguely useful, and I think a block that colour would look pretty cool. Like a bright bluey turquoise light block.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. We kind of got a lot of light blocks now.
Mm-hmm.
And the only type of light block that I really, really want is a bright white one with no coloration on it. I want like white concrete light block. So it goes with everything. That's all I want. I don't know. Would a like a bright blue light block? I had them in my neon pack for the Chuck City that I built on my on the videos I did on that. And I had pink, yellow, like neon blue, red, magenta and white, and they did look cool, but that was a neon build with RTX.
Yeah.
I think in Minecraft, like a turquoise light block, I don't really see it going with a great deal.
It would be very hard to place it. I mean, it would be a challenge, but it does feel like we have quite a bit of those light blocks that just are tacky.
Yeah.
You're just like, how am I gonna make this visible? Oh wait, I'm not. I'm just gonna hide it behind trapdoors. Like, I don't think we need more of that, in my humble opinion.
Well, according to the Discord, 9 people think it's a good idea and only 1 person thinks it's a bad idea. However, I have just put in the white light block idea instead, and we've got 4 up, 1 down for that. So I'm going to put that in as a good idea instead of the blue as a good idea. And somehow we'll just have to combine it with something to make it white and not bright blue. There we go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, now it's you.
Meet Lansky says, what about a craft station to disassemble books that you tied together? We now have rare enchantments like Swift Sneak. And when you are preparing the books to enchant or equip, you can make it too expensive. Would be rather nice if you could save at least 1 enchantment from that book. I am against that. For the simple reason fishing exists, and I don't know. I don't like the idea that it just would be that easy. Like just imagine you're fishing and you could just take mending off of it. And then you have like a million mending books just from AFK fishing, and it's not expensive and it's not hard to get. Like, I don't know. I just, it feels lazy to me.
You don't need to, because you can only put the enchantments that's on there on whatever you're trying to put it on. So if there's a whole bunch of random enchantments on there, it's probably going to be like Mending, Smite 5, Piercing 3, Unbreaking 3. You just put that on your Elytra and you've got Unbreaking, Mending, Elytra. It's, you know, it's totally pointless in my opinion. So, and Discord agrees. It's 3 against 5 for the downvote there. So, M2 Lansky, I'm sorry, but if it's pointless. Sorry, mate. It would be nice. I get it, like the OCD of just having like all mending books in your mending bookshop and all unbreaking books in your unbreaking bookshop. But if you really want that, just get, and as I hate to say it, but get some villagers. Do you know what, Jessiie? I'm going to say it. I prefer villagers to mining deep slate.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. You hate villagers.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
That is quite the statement.
I know.
Wow.
To be honest, I am warming to them since I got this villager trading for Hull zombie villager iron farm. They have become incredibly useful, and I'm thinking, if I had more of these. But, that just goes to show you how much I dislike mining deep slate. Right, okay, next one is from Scafone. Says, I don't think it's been mentioned before. I wish there were beacon conduit extenders. Extenders? They're like the Avengers, but the extenders. While I know you could simply put another beacon or conduit, sometimes it's not really feasible to do it. I am okay using another beacon, just wish you could skip having to use another base, put a limitation, you can extend the range by 25, only expend it up to 4 times. Yeah, I totally agree. Why can't we have more beacon bases, make it go wider? Ticking range exists, which is a bit of a problem on Bedrock Edition, but theoretically, if you added like a 5th stage to your beacon base, why not have it go even further? I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be like an item. I don't think it should be like if you use a piece of copper on it or a piece of netherite, it's got a boost or something like that. I think just adding more layers should make it bigger and bigger.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It'd be so expensive, but I think it makes sense.
Yeah, it's an obvious thing to do though, isn't it? Because it already that already exists. So it's almost like people probably, if they don't know much about Minecraft and they somehow manage to figure out beacons, might go, I wonder if I can build this bigger and bigger and bigger, and if it'll go further and further and further. So, yeah, I think that's fine. Right, okay, next one then, Jessiie B. Oh, and by the way, that's got 8 against 0, so that is going in the good ideas bin.
Yeah. Turtley says, hi, podcast crew, listening to your latest podcast, and I was thinking, what if in the Deep Dark you could find an enchantment called Permakeep, which when applied like Swift Sneak meant that if you died with stuff on and it was enchanted, then it would still be in your inventory when you respawned. Maybe this could be balanced so that the item has less durability with the enchantment on, that the enchantment couldn't be applied if certain enchantments were already on that item. Turtley died, but got to keep his diamond sword, so he lived happily ever after till he died again. Oh,
I think it's a really good idea. I don't think it needs to have any durability stuff. We got Curse of Binding, like Curse of Vanishing.
I don't like it.
Why?
Because what is the point? What is the point of just like not having chances of losing your stuff? Like I am very much.
We just talked about. Oh, go on.
I'm very much a believer in like it's risk for a reason. How boring is the game when you play on creative? I don't want that feeling in regular Minecraft. So for me, it's a big no. It's a big no. I don't like it.
We both just talked in depth during the news and agreed that people like to be in control of their game. They like to get to the end game. To me,
Agreed.
The end game is having full control. Now, I don't want to be in creative flight. I don't want to have access to infinite items. I want to earn it. But yeah, I have no issue with a permakeep enchantment that can only be got from the Deep Dark because it gives you reason to go to the Deep Dark. You know, I think that's a great idea. For me, that wouldn't make the game more boring because I get absolutely zero enjoyment from losing my stuff. And I do die, and I die regularly. So I think that's a really good idea. The people in the Discord hate it as well. It's got 11 downs and no ups. But I go against popular opinion here. I think if you can earn that reward, why not? Maybe that's what you get for killing the warden.
So the warden, but there's warden farms.
Scafone says permakeep. Play with keep inventory then, but you haven't earned it. You haven't earned it. Progression exists. It's not like I'm going. Oh well, I'm going to make a diamond. No, I'm going to make an emerald raid farm and have infinite emeralds forever. Well, why don't you just go into creative mode then and just give yourself all the emeralds? What a stupid thing to say. It's the same thing there. What a stupid thing to say. I'm not saying I want to keep all of my items forever, but I'd like to be able to get an enchantment. Maybe it goes like it won't go on with mending, or maybe it won't go on with this or unbreaking or something like that. But why not? Why not let people play the game they want to play it?
I mean, you can play how you want, but I agree. If you want that, play with keep inventory on.
That's not
you're
the same.
Playing exactly how you want it.
Well, that's not the same. Have you ever made a farm in Minecraft to generate items? But just play with creative then. What's the point?
it's not the same. You
is exactly the same.
You have to work to make it.
You've got to work to get the enchantment. They're not just giving it you at the beginning, are they?
I don't like it.
Oh, well.
This is where we're going to have to, we just agree to disagree. We play the game differently. We value different things. And this is one where it very, very strongly is in the opinion of no.
Yeah, fair enough. And clearly everybody agrees with you and not me on this one. But I think, I honestly don't see a downside to that one that you clearly all see. I really don't see that being a problem.
Is it my turn next?
Maybe it only would last once and then it wipes itself off the item. So almost like your item's got an extra life.
Playing too much respawn.
Yeah, let's move on. Okay.
Pixel King.
That sounds a little better, says Jason. Thank you. Sorry. Go on, Jessiie.
Pixel King says, I was listening to the podcast and heard about fish bowls and came up with a great idea. How about being able to have fish bowls that work like chess? If you put two fish bowls next to each other, they would combine to make a fish tank. A fish tank would be 2 blocks long and 1 block high, and like a large chest. Thanks for the great podcast. Keep up the great work.
It was kind of like my Pokemon collecting fish in bowls idea, wasn't it? There's somewhere to keep your tropical fish.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't mind that idea.
For me, it falls into the why. It's just like a meh. I'm not. I don't like it enough to add it. I don't hate it, but I don't. It's not. Yeah,
exactly. If they said they were adding that into Minecraft, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'd probably make one, but. I think I'd actually quite enjoy collecting fish to put in a fish tank, but they'd have to be smaller in there,
Yeah.
If you've got a 2-block wide fish tank, you want it to be like an aquarium at home, a little bit of sand or gravel at the bottom, like a little skull in there for them to swim in, some bubbles going up, and just some tiny little fish in there. And maybe the more fish you add to it, the more little tiny fish there are inside. But almost like just an animation rather than having actual fish in there. I'd be quite happy with that, but it doesn't feel like something I would be desperate to add to the game. So I don't think it's a good idea. It's been one. What a shame. Not like... somebody just mentioned totems in the Discord as well, right? Okay. So how come we're allowed to have totems to prevent death and we can have totem farms? Why don't you just play in creative?
I mean, sure.
It's the same thing.
It's not, because you can still die with a totem. Like you only get one totem in your hand.
Totem, right? That protected your items as well, and there it's gone after you've used it.
I mean, a totem does protect your items as well.
No,
it does.
All right, fair enough. Shut up. I just get a totem farm. Jeez. I hate carrying a totem. I want it just an enchantment on my items. I can't stand carrying a totem. I hate it.
Just have totems at all time. There you go.
Can't I just swap it out for an enchantment? A totem of undying enchantment. Jeez, maybe we could have runes and I could have a totem rune.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, next one. Is it me?
I think, right?
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Oh, getting all confused. Right, okay. Lemonade says, a gardener! It can sell you flowers and dye. This is for the people who travel hundreds of blocks for a specific flower or dye, especially brown and green. No. The flowers and dye is the easiest thing in the world to get. You're not having a gardener. And the Wandering Trader sells them anyway. He's the gardener.
Yeah, the Wandering Trader does sell them.
Just give him a new skin. Make him look like a farmer villager.
Nobody says, okay, so I fixed end right. Instead of respawning with you, it would just stay in the void like Netherite does with lava. The only way to get it back would be to jump in the void with an elytra and try to rock it out before you die.
I like that.
I like that idea.
I really like that.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I think that's a good way around it. Like, if you don't just get your stuff, go for it.
Yeah, so you've got a real risk-reward situation going on there. Do you go back and fly into the void, hoping that you can skim across the bottom and pick your items up? The problem with that is the void is supposed to go all the way down into the world, but we know from console edition days that you can actually, in console, you could stand at the bottom of the void. In creative, you just stopped and you could walk around, you could place blocks and all sorts. The water would even like spill out at the bottom of the world. In reality, it's supposed to go on forever, so that kind of doesn't work unless the items were magically floating in the void, perhaps at different levels of the void. But yeah, I really like that idea. I really like it.
Yeah. If it stayed at the area where you start taking damage, right? Like the...
Yeah, just above that, like one layer above the damage layer.
Yeah. I would have no problem with this.
Yeah, and it looks like the Discord agree with you there as well. We've got 5 up and only 1 down for that one. So there we go. Netherite is allowed in the game, nobody, and it will protect your items from burning in the void or disappearing in the void. And then you can risk your life to try and get them. Yeah. How would that work if you... Oh, I suppose it can't in the overworld because unless you've broken Bedrock, you can't really get to the void. I was going to say what happens at the bottom of the world or like Skyblock or something like that. But I guess it'd be the same thing. Right, okay. Last one is from Totally Not Nobody 2023. I had an idea for a new game rule. Disable item despawn. It would have to be behind cheats, of course. I think that goes hand in hand with what we said previously about making the game kid-friendly, like an extra easy mode for kids. I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
I have no problem with adding like extra modes and stuff into the game because at the end of the day, there are many, 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 many children who play this game. And as a mom who plays with her kid who gets increasingly frustrated at things, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'm going to put that in as good ideas, regardless of what Discord say. But it does look like the Discord are already 3 up versus 1 down. So yes, we shall have that one as a good idea. And that is the end of this week's wish list, which takes us on to the questions, Jessie B. So, should we read the few questions we've got from our actual questions list first, or should we jump into the Discord?
Are there many questions in the... Let me open the thingy.
There's 4.
Let's just read these first, and then we can move on.
I had another idea.
Oh, okay.
What about a resurrection enchantment, right? Bear with me. It goes on your armor. Mm-hmm. If you have 1 piece, there is a 10% chance that when you die, you will not die. It'll work like a totem, I guess, and keep you alive on like half a heart. If you've got 2 pieces, it'd be 20%. 3 pieces, 30%. 4 pieces, 40%. And that way, if you've got a full set of armor that all have the resurrection enchantment on, then there is a 40% chance that when you die, you'll avoid death and have half a heart.
No. Only if it doesn't work with mending.
You're so mean, Jessie B. Right, let's jump into the questions then. Cricket the Wise says, now that properly placed lightning rods can mitigate random natural damage. Oh, we've had this one last week. No.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, did I not update the questions?
It looks like you didn't, because I think we had the next one too.
Huh. I did this. It definitely... Okay, well, that's going to get rid of those two then. We haven't had this one.
Okay.
Amanchu says, I've made a bamboo farm and a cactus farm. I collected all the mob heads. I'm ready for 1.20, but can we talk about the next update after that? I want an end update. The end is boring, because 1.21, please be an end update. We're with you, Amanchu.
1,000% with you.
We've been hoping for that since like 1.7, 16 and a half, I think. So I would love it. If we had the power, then yes, all updates would be the end update.
Yeah, exactly. Everything. End update here, end update there.
And then we'll give all this good stuff in the end update, and then we'll take it all back away from you again and make it harder to get in the next one.
Yeah, definitely. Lemon Aiden says, if you were new to Minecraft again, which update would you want to be introduced on?
The end update.
Yeah, that one. If I were new, which... So are you talking about like an update that we haven't had, or are you talking about one
we've had? So there was like the colourful update, the bountiful update, the combat update,
I think the biggest change for me was aquatic. So I wouldn't have liked to start before aquatic if I had a choice. Like, because I remember life without drowns. And if I had only ever known drown, then I would... I guess I would be fine. Yeah.
And
but
phantoms.
I remember. Ooh, God, yeah. So yeah, for me, it would be aquatic.
I always wish I'd started from the beginning, because one of the things that interests me most about Minecraft is the progression of the game and how it's changed. And I think you wouldn't have I wouldn't have the same level of appreciation for the game if I'd started somewhere later on. And I'm glad I've got that history with it. So day one for me. I think like 1.0 is fine. I would have liked to have had more involvement with the alphas and the betas, but I think day one's great. I'm happy with that. So, yeah. DJ Chris says, DJ Chris 2019 here, please. With Netherite being harder to get, it needs to be a little stronger. Maybe build an unbreaking one of two, maybe. What?
Okay, I don't understand the
right.
question.
Moving on to the Discord question. Sorry, DJ, because it didn't make no sense at all. Right, what we got here then? I scrolled up to roughly 8 o'clock when we started, and we got Hakuzo at the top there, Jessiie. Do you want to start with Hakuzo?
You just threw me off so much. You said 8, and I was looking for 8, and that's noon my time. So I was like, I am so lost. Hakuzo says... do you think the new armor snapshots will arrive to Bedrock soon? And how functionable do you think it will be for that version? Bonus, what's your favorite design? I haven't actually looked at the designs yet, so I don't have a favorite. I just kind of randomly saw like the overall videos and stuff. I wasn't actually like invested in looking, so I don't know yet. But I think Foxy knows this one better. What do you think? Do you think it'll be functioning?
Who knows? What we didn't talk about in that changelog was an absolutely ridiculous amount of stuff that they've worked on with this change to make it completely customizable. But bear in mind, this is Java Snapshot, so the whole way of doing it, the permutations, the trim patterns, everything's totally customizable with data packs. So you can basically write a data pack to have whatever type of armor you want, which is fantastic. Will it work on Bedrock Edition? Who knows?
Yeah,
whether we'll put the
time will tell.
Considering how many bugs we've had with armor being invisible, not rendering at all, I'd be amazed if we can see it, let alone the different colours. If the different colours are accurate, it wouldn't surprise me if we don't even get it. But hopefully they can do it and do it on par with Java Edition. In terms of favourite designs, it's funny you said that, Jessiie. I've watched 3 different videos on it now, and I haven't paid any attention subconsciously at all. I just didn't care. I didn't care about the designs. I was just more thinking, how expensive?
Yeah.
You want me to pay what now? Jeez, I'm going to need a second job. Squirrely question says, do you have any future guests lined up? If not, who do you have in mind? Jessiie, you are guest duty. We should have had about 3 since the last time we talked about it. By now, how's that coming along?
Well, we've talked about a few people. I think it just comes down to timing, maybe. Is that what? I don't know. Okay, if we're being honest, right? We aren't.
There's a little bit of inconsistency between the team, isn't there?
Yeah. So what it comes down to is we haven't worked out our schedule yet. Like we struggle to find a time where all 3 of us can be together. And it kind of is unfortunate. Like I think Slack missed both guests. So unless we specifically are like, okay, well, we're just going to replace for that specific episode with a new person, like it feels weird. So we're trying really hard to find times that work for all 3 of us and then maybe throw new people into it because it does feel a little chaotic. And yeah, so that's kind of what it is. We do plan to have more. We promise it's not just us forever. I know you probably are sick of us, but we will get other people.
Interestingly enough, Jessiie B, looking at the MinecraftUpdate.com that keeps a track of how many episodes each of us hosts have been on.
Mm-hmm.
I have been on 65, but that's a little bit unfair because we've only this is the 53rd of us doing this together. So I've been on 53. You are now ahead of Slack on 40, and Slack is on 39.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there is a massive inconsistency, and it's infuriating from my point of view because I really want us to be consistent with this. I want to know what time and day of the week we're recording it. I want to know when we're doing the podcast. I would love us to be well more organised with it, but it's like driving a nail through a solid metal wall trying to organise it because Jessiie and Slack, no offence to either of them, they have real lives. Their lives are, generally speaking, and I don't know why or how, but they're like roller coasters. And I try my best to fit in, and there's some weeks where I'm having a problem. But to be fair, and I think being honest about it between us all, it's you guys, it's not me.
Yeah, I think a really hard one is the fact that you're so far ahead of us that, and he is ahead of me, that the times that work really well for you guys are like peak kids being crazy. And that makes it a little more difficult. And then when it's, really convenient for me, it's like really peak. Slack has noise at his house and it's miserable. So it does make it a little bit harder. And then the times that work very well for me and Slack, it's midnight and Foxy is, incoherent and, not.
No.
Not wanting to record.
Well, the problem was we did a couple like that time of night. I did. I think it was when you were on your little break, and it was me and Slack, and I just thought that the podcast was awful because I didn't feel like I had no energy, but I did, and listen to it back the next day. It was awful, and I thought I don't want this podcast to suffer because of that, and I just think, I thought back to, we're on episode 53. When we used to be really consistent at doing it at like 7:30 p.m. GMT, which isn't far off what we've done today. Yeah. And it didn't seem to be a problem for such a long time. And then all of a sudden, I can't remember what it was, but it became a problem when we started shifting it about. We'd never found a way to slot back to it again. And I just think, should we try and go back to that, or like this time, like what we've done today? Does that work, or is that not a good time?
Remember that's the time that for me works really well. For you, it works really well, but that it's like peak busy hours at Slack's house, and so that was the problem. Is just he was like, I can't guarantee that there won't be many people in the background being annoying.
But I've put up with that with Slack for years.
Well, I mean, if Slack's up for it, I have no problem slotting back into that time at all.
No, that suits me, and I think if we can talk Slack into it, that would make sense, because it would be nice to have some more consistency. Anyway,
agreed.
Moving on, we've got is it you next, isn't it?
Yeah, it's me. I'm trying to see where the next one is.
I know there's a lot of chit-chat going on in the questions channel, peeps. Questions only in the questions channel.
Yeah,
Jeez. Is it Scaphone? Below Kent, or squeezed in between Kentucky Hig.
This question is for Foxy. May not be MC related, but still within his content. I know you stopped doing a few of your series based on the fact that you're trying to maximize your time spent. Will you ever give us an update on your flab to fit progress? I was very interested invested in this to the point it motivated me to get back into moving again.
Yes, I'll give you an update right now. I went to flab again. No, I haven't completely fallen back in it. I am trying to still, although I've had I'm so up and down, but I do still try and eat better than I was. I try and do more exercise than I did. It's just trying to find that life balance of actually living and actually doing it. So I might have put a little bit of weight back on again, but I haven't gone to quite the extent that I did. So yeah, that's not much more I can say about that, to be honest with you. Right, what we got next? Who's next? Why is there so much chit-chat?
Because they're chatty and they don't listen to the rules.
Flash says, is the armor thing aimed more at the Java players? They already made Java easier to play than Bedrock. I would much prefer they worked on map markers for Bedrock. How have they made Java more easy than Bedrock Edition? I totally disagree with you there. Having been playing Java Edition quite a lot recently, it's a lot harder. There are holes in the floor everywhere that go down to the bottom of the world. You just walking across what looks like a nice plains, and then all of a sudden you're at Deep Slate. And you're dead. There are even less diamonds on Java Edition. They just don't exist on Java Edition. They are nowhere to be found. And like iron. Where's the iron on Java Edition? I don't know. Bedrock's way easier than Java Edition. Much, much easier.
I would agree.
Yeah. And is it me, Jessiie, or is grass longer on Java Edition?
It's much longer. I have to play with the vanilla tweaks where I lower it because it does my head in. Like, I dislike it so much.
I feel like when I'm wandering about, I'm like, I'm just running through a plains. I'm like, why can't I see anything? And I'm thinking, there's so much long grass. That's. I hope they parody that the other way round, because it's horrible, isn't it? It's not nice to look at.
It's
Bedrock's so
not
much
nice
prettier,
at all.
And the colours on Bedrock are so much prettier as well. And Java's just so desaturated and washed out. Yeah. Okay, next one. This is from Meerkat.
Would you like vanilla invisible armor like you can have with a pack on Java? You mean like the no armor packs?
Yeah.
We have that on Bedrock. I has that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I can't stand not being able to see my character. It irritates me. I don't like the look of armor. Never have. So, yeah.
How often are you looking at yourself? Because there's no mirrors.
Oh, are you kidding me? Or do you not third person talk to the camera at all points in time? And when you're streaming, oh God, I live in third person. I talk to the camera. I talk to the audience. Yeah, it just irritates the heck out of me.
Oh, okay. So that's it. That's never bothered me. Sometimes I'll take my arm off right at the beginning of a video if I'm feeling particularly. But I used to do that. I don't do that anymore.
Oh yeah, it's what I've always done. That and the other one that really, really bugs me, and most people just do not care and do not pay attention to. I F1 all the time when I am recording. I cannot stand like all of the stuff in the way, like of the screen. So yeah, I live in F1.
Like you're mining and placing blocks and stuff?
No, but I don't do a whole lot of that on.
What are you doing?
Camera. What do you mean?
What are you doing to not have the stuff on screen? Just standing around talking. Can't you talk and walk, Jessiie?
Foxy has literally never watched my videos. Yeah, I F1 all the time. Okay. To be fair, I fly in F1 too. I don't know why.
I fly in F5.
Yeah, it's so messy. I just Just as a visual person, oof, don't like it.
In response to the question, I don't think it's a good idea for it to be vanilla because Mojang will be plagued with, I can't see my armor for some reason, because people have forgotten that they've turned it on.
That's true.
So, no, just download a pack. Jason says, if you could be an animal, what would you be? No foxes. I'd be a dog. Dogs have the best life in the world. Be a dog.
I want to be a snow leopard.
I know you've got to hunt for food. You've got danger. It's cold. Dogs got an easy life. They get fed. They get taken out for walks. They get the belly scratched, and they just get to lay on the sofa all day. No. It's brilliant. Be a dog.
Popcorn or M&Ms?
M&Ms.
Peanut M&Ms specifically.
No, don't like peanuts. Don't like nuts.
No. Ew, you like regular M&Ms.
Yeah.
I can't. No way.
Okay, popcorn it is. Right. Yeah. Jason says, the toilet tissue over or under? What do you mean? What?
When you're putting a roll of toilet paper on your thing, do you have the paper going over? Like when you're pulling
hanging from the back?
Yeah.
Does it matter?
Some people are really particular.
We don't have a toilet roll holder. I just put it on top of the toilet.
So do I.
We used to have one, but it fell off. So it's just much more convenient to just have it propped up on the top of the toilet.
Yeah, my kids broke ours.
Yeah, exactly.
So
are you playing Minecraft? Jessiie B, you fired. This is why it's inconsistent.
How? Why?
You think Jessiie B's fallen asleep during the news? She's not. She's just concentrating on what blocks she should put in what places. Jeez.
You're only no comment. I plead the fifth.
See, the one of us takes this podcast seriously.
Hey, I take it seriously.
I'm taking this into account when I'm dishing out Patreon money this month. I'm just saying. I should be writing down how many episodes each of you have recorded this month between you and how much pay attention you've been doing.
Wow. Rude.
Oh, squirrelicious.
If you had a time machine, would you go back in time or into the future? I would not ever go into the future. I don't think I would go back in time either. I don't care. I'll just stay here.
Really? I wouldn't go back in time. I've got no interest in the past at all. Unless it was to, give myself an advantage, but I don't think time works like that. So I would love to go into the future and see what it's like, but I'd be worried that it would be a dystopian apocalypse and then I'd be stuck there. So I'd be a bit nervous about it.
I think I'm one of those people. I believe that if I saw the future, it would change how I feel about the present. And I don't need more reasons to be sad.
I wouldn't want to know what would happen to me or my family, but I would like to see where things are at. Technology. What have I got to look forward to in my lifetime? And how many years have I got left?
Fair.
Yeah. So I don't know. Okay. The next one. Is it me or you? Oh, it's me. Jason says. No, it's not Jason. Marmite or yuck from Meerkat. Marmite's gross.
No, I don't like Marmite. How many blocks have you each placed this month? Would you seriously not want to visit ancient hit? Oh my gosh. Okay. How many blocks have I placed this month? Many. No, too many.
I'm just looking on my Xbox console companion now, but it only shows you blocks broken and its lifetime. It's not placed. But out of all my friends, I'm in second place with 5.8 million blocks broken, and you're in fourth place behind Tiz. Slack's at the top with 8.2 million. So Tiz has got 5.7 million. You've got 5.3 million. So bear in mind, this is just Windows 10 edition, though. It doesn't count the other ones.
Yeah.
So
that's not shocking.
No. And then what do they say? Would you seriously not want to visit ancient history? No, why would I want to go and see ancient history? It's in the past. I'm not interested. Don't care. It's happened. Move on.
I think I have the same opinion. I don't need more things to make me sad. I'm good. I just, I need to make it through today. I don't want to make it through yesterday again. I
had such an aversion to learning history at school. I absolutely detested it. I didn't see the point in it. I didn't
I love
like
history.
it. And I just think, I can't think there's been anything in history that I would have cared to witness.
Mm-hmm.
Jessie B.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Log out and pay attention. We're nearly at the end. You got 5 minutes.
Okay.
Jeez.
There. I'm out.
Right, we got Crafty Craft that says, haven't listened to the last few podcasts yet. You thought you decided to make the live episodes patron only. When did you change it back? We're alternating because Jessie B thinks I'm too mean.
Yep.
Yeah, so we do 1 month is patron only, and the next month is just for everybody. So, Jason, with why you sent me. I don't know. Ask my mum. She made me the way I am. Jeez. Right, that's the end of the questions. If you would like to ask if you would like to ask us a question for next week's show, then you can by emailing us at news@theminecraftupdate.com, filling in our handy feedback form, or joining our Discord. And if you join the Discord, then every other month you can join in. We've got 25 people currently still listening for all of this time while we've been live, and you could be there too. What's the number, says Jason? I'm not giving you my mum's number, you pervert. Jeez. As a reminder, we are supported by Patreon. If you would like to support us, you can go to patreon.com/the Minecraft Update, and we would thoroughly appreciate it. And don't worry, I'm not going to waste any on Jessie or Slack because they don't bother turning up, and Jessie just plays Minecraft. So I keep it all for myself, put it into editing money. Make us sound even better, guys. Hey, speaking of which, I did spend some more money the other day on the podcast. I bought a new VST, and you might like this one. It's called Speechy, and you can put it in OBS as a plug-in for when you're talking, or you can run it on your stuff afterwards in your editing. And it's got some very nice features for just taking out those harsh tones when you record. It's also got a noise filter in it. It's got de-esser. It's got... Yeah, it's very nice, very nice. And I've had that on the last few podcasts now, and I really like how it can smooth out that gratingness of my voice sometimes. So, yeah. Jeez. Right. Okay. That is it, peeps. It's time to find... What are we going to be doing this week, Jessie?
I will be streaming tomorrow on
this is
YouTube.
Yesterday. No, this comes out Friday. We streamed yesterday, guys. That was amazing.
We did a YouTube stream, anniversary one, which was great. It was brilliant. We loved it.
Yeah, and I dropped a massive bomb on that one, and everyone they couldn't believe it. What the shock to the news that I dropped yesterday.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
It's crazy.
So don't miss that one on the VOD. Good one, Jessie.
I know. Other than that, streaming, editing at some point, videos. Be fun. What about you?
4 streams a week, plus videos going out and all that sort of good stuff. And that is actually it. So again, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do by emailing us, filling in the feedback form, or joining the Discord. And as usual, all that's left to say at the end of the podcast is the same thing that I say at the end of every week, and that is, if you can't be bothered to turn up, or you would just rather play Minecraft than listen to me, then you can join our podcast too by applying at theminecraftupdate.com. Oh, jeez.
Oh, goodness.
Love you, really.
Love you, really. It's fine.
Okay, it's okay, guys.
I'm so done with you.
No, you're not, Jessie. You don't mean it. Oh, jeez. Thank you very much, Discord Pete's, for putting up with us for, what is that, 2 hours, 15 minutes now?
Yeah.
Thanks very much, but we'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.